Hey, this is Forrest, and got some friends here.
Hey.
They just came up from Florida. This is Sam and his dad, Jesse. And what we're going to do is we're going to work on this guitar and see if we can fix Sam's bender in this thing. This is a Parsons. And it's got a distinct problem I've rarely seen in one of these. Whereas this thing is so worn out, he's played the hell out of this guitar to the point where that has actually worn all the way over. And this is rubbing. It's not only rubbing here, but it's rubbing right there. So, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it makes it makes the typical clunky noise, but it's also making a grating noise. So I'm going to attempt to fix this thing, and then we're going to put it back in that guitar, and I'll come back to you in just a minute, and hopefully we'll get this thing rocking and rolling. Is that cool?
That's cool.
All right, good deal. Okay, so hold that camera. So this is the bender unit itself. See, this screw right here is loose, and it's so loose that it's worn the plate back. So the bender is actually, it's rubbing like this because this is worn. This should be up, it should be tight, but it's not. So I'm going to go ahead and try to address this. Another thing is I'm going to end up putting a stiffer spring on it, because this one, I believe that one is probably 62 thousandths. I'll find my calipers and let you know for sure. But we're gonna address this spring as well as that situation, and then also probably back here in this area. And yeah, we'll get right back with you in just a moment. All right, so now you can see what I'm talking about, where that that bender has come loose, and it just continually keeps coming loose, right? And it never quite stays put. So we're gonna have to try to fix that and address the other issues as well. But yeah, that has come to the point where it's actually worn against the back plate, and we're gonna resolve that. All right. This thing is so locked up that there's no way you can get it apart. I mean, it's really bad. What I need to do, if I can find some, probably put some air coil in it or something, but I'm going to try something else real quick first. And let's hope that this works. And if this does work, then that'll... Yep, that's working. Just going to go back and forth with it and loosen it up. Whew. Man. Back and forth, till it comes off. All right, we got her loose. Ah! And the angels sing. All right. So we're going to replace this spring. I'm assuming this is 62 thousandths. Probably going to replace that with a 65 thousandths. And because this spring is completely sprung. I mean, this is the same diameter as they use for screen doors. It is. So technically, what a lot of guys would do is they would cut a couple of pieces off of this and then stretch it back over and connect it up. We're not going to do that. We're just going to replace this spring completely. And I'm going to rebuild this bender system in here and get it to working properly. Shim it out, put some Loctite on it, and then once we get to that point, we'll get back and film it a little bit more. All right?
Good.
Okay, so here's what I've done. I have taken this thing completely apart. I put one of my springs on it. This is the spring is made in Kentucky and chrome plated by Advanced Plating, the world's best chrome. And they make all my parts, and they also make Gibson Les Paul parts and Fender stuff. So if you take a Les Paul bridge off, like the tailpiece off of a real made in USA Les Paul, flip it over, it'll say Advanced Plating, Nashville, Tennessee. Same people. So they do all my plating for me, make all my Bender parts and all that stuff. So okay, so I took this whole unit apart, greased it, pulled out a couple of the washers that we didn't, well, there was an extra washer in here that I don't know why it was in there. Put blue Loctite on this so that it's not going to come apart again. Greased it real well, and now I'm going to tighten this back up. And this should fix the problem. Let's see. Gonna tighten that up on there. Okay, let's see. Is that still moving? It's nice and tight, and it's moving. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to Loctite this down. And then once I get that Loctited, I'm going to put it back together in the guitar and string it up, and we'll see how it works. You ready? Super White Stay Lube. That's what I've been using on guitars for a very long time. Also, blue Loctite is your friend too. So if you need to lock something, this doesn't matter what kind, but blue Loctite, never the red. Okay. Now, let's see if I can not kill myself by doing this. This is how you take the spring, put it on and off of almost all benders. This spring, by the way, is a whole lot more spring than the original one. This is going to be a lot tighter, but, you know, these benders weigh a lot, so that's how you get it on there. You want to use a hook tool like this. You pull on that spring, and there it is. Now, the bender unit's working properly. It's not rubbing right here. Stop points are good. This isn't wobbling, and it's not, you know, mushed out over here. So yeah, let's put the guitar back together. Where's the guitar at? Drop this back in. And is it in the other room? Oh, all right. Cool. Oh, and while I'm at it, in case you don't have one, it's a Forrest Custom Guitars Bender Lubrication Tool. Everybody needs one of these in their guitar case. It's grade A, number 2 pencil. Bender Lubrication Tool. So you just rub a little bit of this graphite, and you can rub it in the nut, and you can rub it in the saddle, and it just keeps everything nice and lubed up and from squeaking. And it'll probably last you a lifetime because you only need to just put a little bit in there. And this has already got GraphTech saddles, which GraphTech, those guys are awesome, by the way. I love those guys. If you're going to shop Canadian, which you should probably do immediately. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, yeah, so let's put this bad boy back in now that it's fixed. Get the bushing on it. Okay, and then I'm going to send Sam home with a couple extra things that he doesn't need in his guitar, like the original spring. You know, that's an actual, you know, USA Parsons Green B bender spring. You might be able to sell that on eBay for, you know, I don't know, 50 cents or something. Cost you $12 to ship it, but no, seriously, these guys are from where at now? Alabama?
Mobile,
Alabama. I met Sam while I was playing down at the Floribama with the Tim Roberts band, and I was down there subbing for a guitar player named Amos, who's an awesome player, and I saw him playing. I saw he had a V-bender telly, and so I just automatically had to go, you know, say hi. And a month later, they're up here, and I'm working on his guitar. So fixing something that should have been fixed a long time ago, probably. But man, you have worn the hell out of this guitar. I've never seen one worn that bad. But hopefully this is going to resolve it and you won't ever have to worry about that again. So we're going to string it up after I get this all tightened up, put a B string on it, and do a little test drive. See you in a minute. So, let's see. Snark time. Let's see how close we are. Okay. Okay, go ahead and kill it. Okay, Sam is going to shred on his newly revived guitar. Nice. So what do you think?
I like it. Feels great.
Doesn't feel like you got to hold the neck up anymore?
No, it stays put.
Okay. Keep your hand under the neck and then jump up and down a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave it, play it open, but keep it. But it's still easy to bend.
Yeah.
I would say that is a fixed bender. Now you can use your bender again.
Thanks, Forrest.
Absolutely, man. Oh, and he's also playing through the new amp, not that one. I had to do that one more time. All right. Perfect.